everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie and I run a fashion and lifestyle blog over on MissMelanieMade.com. I'll have that link down below, as well as all my other social media if you want to check me out on my website and my Instagram. But today's video is going to be a second video to the first video that I posted earlier this week, which was a skincare routine. So yes, I'm wearing the same thing. Yes, I'm filming these back to back. We're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna try to get both these videos knocked out and filmed so I can upload them this week. But so in that video, I'll link that here if you want to check it out. I just talked about all the skincare products that I use, what works for me. But today I wanted to talk more a little bit in depth about my dermatologist experience and all of that, because I kind of touched on it in my last video, but I wanted to go more into depth in it here. So to give you a little background, just real quick, if you didn't watch my other video, I've had acne on and off for years, and I would say my skin type is sensitive skin with also kind of like a combination oily, so I definitely tend to get oily on my forehead and my nose. Also have areas that can be dry at times, so that's kind of my skincare type. So as far as the dermatologist experience, I don't really have an exact kind of things in my head that I want to make sure I talk about, but I just kind of wanted to share with you my experience, because I really struggled with acne for years and I really resisted kind of going to a dermatologist for years, but I do think that it is worth it. So that was kind of why I wanted to talk about this today. So we'll kind of start way back in the day when I was in high school. I had pretty bad acne on my forehead, and I definitely have photos of my more recent acne flare-up, but I definitely can probably find some photos of when I was in high school as well and zoom in on it, because it was really bad. And that acne was mainly on my forehead, and there were all these little dots, and they were just so painful. And just, you feel like everyone's looking at it, even if maybe they're not, because you can cover it up with makeup and stuff. So I did go to a dermatologist then back in the day, and I remember being put on an antibiotic, and don't ask me what the name of it was, but it was a very big chalky pill, and maybe something with a D. I don't know why, that's kind of what's ringing a bell. They were pretty big pills, and so I remember being put on that, and I also remember taking Axone, or putting Axone on, which is a topical cream. And I remember it not really helping that much. I remember it kind of doing something maybe a little bit, but really not really. And so I just kind of got frustrated with it and never really continued with the dermatologist that I originally was seeing, because I was like, I don't know, it's not really necessarily working. I don't really know. Then I kind of was, trying to do things on my own and, research and find products that I could find maybe that weren't dermatologist related. But then I started to go on birth control, and that kind of did help put the acne at bay, especially because I think a lot of it was hormone related. And so then once I was on the birth control, it did kind of help, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to stop going to the dermatologist. It's better than it was. Well, then about a year ago, my acne started to get really bad again. But now this time it was on my chin. And those I do have photos of, because I just within the past 4 months or so have finally cleared it up. So I'll definitely insert those photos. And it was extremely deep in the skin. Like I said, always mainly on the chin, and just very painful. They would bleed. They were just so uncomfortable, and I felt just so down about it, because obviously acne isn't something that once you're out of your teens, people don't really talk about it as much. A lot of people when they're in their teens, you expect to have acne, but when you get older, you're like, why am I still having acne? So I knew it was hormone related because it's on the chin, and everything you read says, acne on the chin is related to hormones. But I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, because I, obviously had been to the dermatologist in the past, and I wasn't totally sure what they would be able to do to help. But then the second thing that I think I was more concerned about was that I would have to go on a lot of medications, or they would tell me to go on Accutane, but because of my health condition and all the other medications that I'm on, I really didn't want to go on any other crazy medications, so I just kept putting it off. And then finally I got to the point back in October, early November, so not that long ago, where I was so fed up with it. I finally made an appointment at a dermatologist, and I went, and I don't know why I didn't go sooner. It really has made all the difference in the world. Now, I will say you do need to do your research like anything else with dermatologists, because, you know, every dermatologist is different. There's so many different treatments out there. You know, you can do a topical treatment, you can do an oral medication, you can do something in the middle, you can, you know, there's so many different things to try. And, you know, it's kind of a lot like autoimmune diseases in the fact that you really don't know what's going to work or what's going to help until you take the medication and see, because, you know, acne is so different from person to person. What works amazing for me and what I tell you what I am on might not do anything for you. So it is definitely, you know, some trial and error there. But so I went, you know, he asked me, you know, questions about what it's been, you know, how long I've been having it, you know, is it always on the chin, you know, just basic questions like that. And we talked a lot, and, you know, he had said, you know, I had a few different options as far as medications, but he said, you know, I definitely think you need to do a medication and a topical combined. I don't think one will necessarily clear it up. So we talked a lot about, you know, different options, like I said, and he did mention Accutane, which my sister had been on, and I know, you know, if you haven't heard of it, it is a very high potent dosage of like vitamin. It's so high that you have to go for like pregnancy tests every month, and you have to take blood work, get blood work done, and, you know, it can do a lot to your system. And so that was something that I really wasn't necessarily wanting to go on unless I absolutely had to. So he said, you know, we'll give it a few months, we'll see. So he put me on this, which I showed in my last video. This is the tretinoin 0.05% retinol cream, which you need a prescription for. And then he prescribed me spironolactone, which that is a over-the-counter pill, which I think has, I'm pretty sure it is kind of like a blood pressure medication. It's used for other things. It's not like the drug itself didn't come out just for acne. In the last, I don't know, however many years, dermatologists have discovered that it actually will help with hormonal acne, but its original use was not for acne. So he had told me to go on, so I kind of played it by ear, so I picked up the medications. And also, I had mentioned in my last video, but I'll mention it again, if your insurance does not cover retinol creams, which they didn't, go to goodrx.com and you put in some information, and you'll be given a coupon which you can show to the pharmacist, and most likely you can get like an over-the-counter retinol cream for about $50 instead of like $200. And $50, I know it sounds like a lot, but you really only need like a dime-sized amount, so it lasts for a long time. So I picked this up, and then I picked up the pills. So I started with the cream right off the bat. He had said to use a little bit at a time, like not all over the face, just to make sure you weren't like super, you know, something crazy happened. But pretty much right away I started using a little bit all over my face, not just the acne. And I did have a little bit of drying, but nothing terrible. And I did adjust some of my skincare products to be more moisturizing. And then I also added a benzoyl peroxide spot treatment as well that I used at night. And then the pill, the spironolactone, I started taking not like right away. I gave it a few weeks. And that he told me to take 2. I actually am only taking 1, and I seem like my acne is almost fully cleared up, so I don't think that I need to take 2. Now, he prescribed me 2, so there'd be nothing wrong with taking 2, but like I said, I'm trying not to take as much medication as I need to. I was worried about the side effects with it. There's nothing crazy, but, you know, some of them, like if you have a lot of kidney diseases, it is a diuretic, so it will like dry you out, like your insides and stuff. So he did say that you could be really thirsty in the beginning, and I was. That's like the one side effect I did have, was like the first few weeks I was so thirsty, and then I think you just kind of get used to it. But yeah, I was just so thirsty. I want to say you can also have some lightheadedness. So there are some side effects, but I really didn't have anything crazy. So now I've been on both of the products for, let's see, about 4 months now, and I would say my acne is better than it has ever been. I occasionally will get a pimple, you know, around the time of the month or whatever, but it goes away pretty soon after with the topical treatment, and I haven't been back since. You know, obviously I have an appointment like once a year now just to check everything, but you know, he said if I wanted to come in, if things were getting worse, you know, they could change the medications. But for me, it seems to be working great, and like I said, I'm so glad I went. And so I'm just kind of making this video to tell you that if you are thinking about it, go. I say go. I really strongly believe that I don't think that there is any product on the market that you can buy at your local beauty store or online that is going to fully clear up acne. I really think that if you have bad acne like I did and like a lot of people do, I truly think that you need a prescription pill or prescription cream. I don't think that there is a product out there that will fully clear it up. There might be products that might help it, but if you want to fully get rid of it, I don't think there's any product out there that will help. Now, if you have really, really mild acne, you probably don't need to go to the dermatologist, but I'm talking about like painful cystic acne, and you know that if you have it, I think that, you know, the dermatologist is the way to go. So this is kind of a shorter video for me, considering I always talk forever. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to put this out there to say that, you know, dermatologists I think are great. Like I said, do your research, find one that you think will work for you. But if you have been debating it to try to help clear up acne, definitely is worth it. So yeah, I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about my experience with my acne or dermatologist or the medication that I'm on or anything like that, let me know. I will link the GoodRx website down below, as well as my skincare routine video that I did. And I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.